Okay, friends, games is 5-card stud. Jacks are better to open. Everybody ante up. All right, jokers are wild. Let's start the betting. Whoa. That's not how you do it. We go round and everyone places their bet one at a time. We need to start again. Now pick up your bets and we'll start over.
I'm not sure how much I put in.
Yeah, me neither.
I put in all of it.
Wait a minute. No, you don't get to take that money. She's always been a thief. I've known this all along. Attribution is important. If nobody keeps track, nobody gets the proper credit. Stay with us to learn why you should be tagging links you create to your site, and stay to the end to find out if we figure out this mess. Hey Mark, start by explaining what we mean by tagging links.
I'll be glad to, Eric, but you want to explain first where that 20 came from?
Just a little poker game in progress.
Yeah, I think we need to have an accounting afterward. But let's explain for the folks. Now, sometimes you have the opportunity to create a link to your own site. For example, a link to your site in a guest post you write for another site or in a social media post you create. So when you do that, you have an opportunity to add a code or tags to the link that can give you more granular data in your analytics.
So what kinds of data can you get from link tagging?
Well, link tags can tell you things like the particular campaign the link should be associated with, the type of content it was in, and from what medium it originated. Now, the most commonly used tagging scheme is UTM, or Urchin Tracking Module. That's named after the Urchin Analytics platform that Google bought and then rebranded as Google Analytics. Now, while UTM has certain standard fields, it's really up to you what you put in them, so you can track pretty much whatever you want.
But doesn't your analytics already give you that information? I mean, why go through the extra effort of creating UTM tags for links?
Well, basically, analytics only takes you down to a certain level of detail. So if you want or need more, tagging is the way to go. Now let me give an example of how I use tagging for our social media marketing here at Stone Temple.
Please do.
Okay. Now if I look at our Google Analytics for our incoming traffic, I can segment out the social channel and see how much traffic we got from each social network. Now that's great, but that's about as deep as I can go. But let's say I would like to know how much of our traffic from Twitter comes from our tweets on our own Twitter accounts and from our paid ads on Twitter. Now, there was no way for me to know that until I started tagging our links that we share on our social accounts with social-share in the medium field for organically shared links, and paid-social for our promoted tweets, as you see here.
So now you can see that about 21% of our Twitter traffic comes from people clicking on links shared by our Twitter accounts, and a little over 3% comes from our paid promotions.
Right. Now, if I wanted to get even more granular, and I might do this in the future, I would create a unique tag for each of our 3 Twitter accounts, so I could evaluate which one is driving the most effective traffic. Now, this was just one example of what you can do with UTM tags. Because you can create whatever tags you want, how deeply you segment your data is only limited by your own needs and how much effort you want to put into the tagging.
Speaking of effort, is it difficult to create UTM tags?
Well, not really, thanks to some tools that are out there. The UTM coding itself looks complex when you see it in a link, as you do now, but the tools allow you to input your tags and then copy and use the resulting tagged URL. Now, the Google Campaign URL Builder that you're looking at now is one such tool. The only required fields are the original URL of the page you want to link to and the source. You can use as many or as few of the other fields as you want. Also, even though there is a suggested type of input for each field, you're really free to use them for whatever you want. Just make sure that whatever you do it consistently. And that everyone who has access to your analytics knows your tagging scheme.
So any final thoughts about the importance of tagging links?
Yes, first, before you start any tagging scheme, sit down and think about what information would be useful to you. Look for areas where you may currently be flying blind because what's really happening is hidden in more aggregated data. For example, if you run content or social campaigns, it might be useful to tag each campaign so you can find out which generated the most traffic. Now, second, if you decide to implement UTM tagging, you have to commit to it. You have to create a process so that you tag every time it applies. Otherwise, you'll have gaps in your data and won't get an accurate comparison.
So thanks, Mark. On the post for this episode on our blog at stonetemple.com, we'll link to some additional resources and tools that will help you implement tagging for your inbound links. Now let's get back to that poker game and see if those knuckleheads have straightened things out.
Okay, so we all agreed to split the pot evenly so we can restart the betting. Is everyone happy with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good. So before we begin though, is anyone else hungry? What do you say we order some pizza? I mean, after all, if everyone kicks in a little money.
Sure. All right.
Wait a minute. Oh, come on, you guys. I can't take it.